Yes, indeed. This is the driverless limo. Watch the left door. That is the invisible driver getting out. So how did we get here? This is kind of a longer one today. And I'm going to get to some of the weirdness that you can do. I mean, this is kind of endgame stuff for playing the new Mansions DLC. I've been messing around with this for a while. So, the driverless limo. I wanted to find out if I took one to the top of Mount Chiliad, if it could manage to drive me off there safely. And that's not an easy thing to do, because if you set your destination in the limo to top of Mount Chiliad, it will stop at the bottom and just chuck you out. You'll be like somewhere around here. Not good. Anyway, so I had to do this. This took me a long time, so I've edited this right down. It's like an hour session. So I've got my bambushka here. You can open the cargo ramp and you can get vehicles in the back. So I thought, well, let me see if I can reverse backwards with my cargo ramp and get this thing inside, because there's no other way to get it up there. If you try with a cargo bob, it won't let you pick these things up. So this is the only way that I could think of doing it, by trying to push it, and that would be impossible. So we've nearly got it in. So we just need a few little shoves and it's done. And this was the first test. Will the cargo ramp shut with it inside? And will it despawn or disappear? There we go, so it's now shut, and look, you see we've got two icons, bottom left. So we now have our limo, and we are headed destination, top of Mount Chiliad, where I will attempt to get into the back of it and see where it takes me. Whether it will just come crashing down. Now, one thing I definitely noticed with this is that it is way heavier. I mean, this thing takes a while to get off the ground, but I was really struggling. Can you hear that bashing? So that, I think, is the limo smashing around inside. And in fact, it was so hard to get altitude that when I approached Mount Chiliad, yeah, this happened. I didn't blow up, which is something, but yeah, bit of a fail. And there's a long way to go to the top. Oh dear. But you know, maybe this is far enough. Mount Chiliad is massive. Maybe we can start from here. Unfortunately, there's no obvious path. At the top of Mount Chiliad, there's a couple of paths. So really, we just need this thing to stop and not blow up, and then I can see what happens. Whether it can actually get inside it or not. So there we go. Came to a standstill. Not exactly up at the top. And time to have a look at our car. Has it survived? Has it blown up? Still showing on the map. And look at that, the engine's still running, so that's something. And unfortunately, I now can't get in the back. I'm trying to get in the back here. But it won't let me in the back, which is a little bit weird. So I thought, well, I was going to go back again, hence why I'm on this. But I thought, well, maybe, tell you what, I'll despawn my bambushka and then try from here. And look what happens. Now, all of a sudden, tried to get in the back and I can get in the front. And it now becomes a drivable personal vehicle. Not a personal vehicle, but a drivable vehicle. And I can go off and drive it around the map and enjoy driving this car. At least in this session. And that gave me confidence to try again. So look at this, much smoother this time. I've got the hang of it, and obviously the key is to get your limo parked in an area where you can get your plane to it easily, otherwise it's not going to work, obviously. This time I've got much longer run up. I can really get the altitude. Here we go. So this time I had a pretty good chance of landing on top. But the question is, will it still be driverless? So will I be able to get in the back? Or will the same thing happen again and I can then drive it? That weird little glitchy thing I showed right at the start. So I will show you. And look at that, we made it intact, more or less. That's not the ideal spot to start in. So I tried to see if I can move it a little bit higher up. There we go. At least now we've got half a chance. It's not just going to start by rolling off the side of the mountain. Okay, now we're in business. We're making some progress. Finally answer the question. Will this thing drive off? Or, well, in fact, will I be able to get in it? And which door? Okay, so let's get rid of the personal vehicle. There it goes. I thought it despawned, but it's actually just hiding in that bush. There we go. Oh no, it's just behind the bush. Okay, so this time, there we go. So it hasn't got in that weird state. I can now get in the back, and now I can try it. So start. Gonna head back to my mansion. Right, so what's it gonna do? So obviously, as I say, normally I'm not going to do the hurry because I don't want this thing driving too fast and flying off. Normally it won't be able to get up here, but now it's in this weird position. Has it got the intelligence? How good is the AI to get off the mountain? And I suspect you probably know the answer. Here we go. So it's turned around. At least it's sort of on the path. I mean, we're on the path, going maybe a little bit faster than I wanted to. Obviously, the snow doesn't really help. And yep, the inevitable. There's no way it's getting back on the track after that. Yeah, the snow definitely does not help. I think even without the snow, this thing is going down the hard way. But at least I haven't blown up yet. I'm kind of good. Okay. This is this little alleyway. If you've ever tried to drive off Mount Chiliad before, you can actually get down this way. So it's probably picked a good a route as any if it's going to do some off-piste skiing. Okay. Right, there we go. Now we've reached the standstill, and this is where I started the video. So basically, when it gets stuck for more than 30 seconds, there you go. The driverless driver, now I edited that a bit to shorten it, but it's about 30 seconds. So the invisible driver bizarrely gets out. And if you try and shoot through the window, there's no driver in there. If you try and jack the car, steal the car, it won't let you. But you have that weird animation whereby the invisible AI gets out, which is so strange. And after that point, you can then get in the front, which is very weird. So you basically have to block it in for 30 seconds. And then all of a sudden, there we go. We now have what was a driverless, now converts into a drivable limo. Which is quite fun to drive. And also, if I hadn't smashed it up so much, these things are good because they're bulletproof as well, largely. They've got good armour. And unfortunately, you can't turn it into a personal vehicle. So I tried to drive it into my mansion. I tried a pay and spray, tried driving it to one of my garages, but no. But anyway, there you go. What a beautiful glitch.